Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem Kakadash. Double honors to Apostle Great Millstone Ruel, and salutations to Lake to push the truth in all sincerity. Today's video, I want to talk about you don't have to look like a black, Hispanic, and Native American to be an Israelite, okay? So, there's a lot of people out there, okay? All right? There's a lot of people out there, okay? All right? That don't go by the scriptures, okay? All right? You can easily see in the scriptures, okay? All right? That basically, that there's going to be a such thing as Israelites, okay? That don't look like a typical Israelite, okay? A lot of camps, okay? There's a lot of camps that don't understand that. Like a lot of camps believe, every single Israelite is going to look like a black, a so-called black man, dark, having a woolly hair, or look like a so-called Hispanic. Some camps don't even consider the North Kingdom as, Hispanics. Okay, the Hispanics and Native Americans, Some of them feel like all Israelites are just black, so-called black. And that's just retardation, that's mutiny, Okay? There's a lot of camps that think that all Israelites are just dark skinned. That's not the case, okay? All right? Okay, there's a lot of Israelites that don't look like a typical Israelite, okay? And we're going to go through that in this lesson, okay? So the first scripture I got, it's James 1:1. James, a servant of Yahweh and of the Lord, Yahushai Mashiach, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad. Greetings. So we know through the curses that the Israelites, okay, they were scattered, all right? The Israelites were scattered abroad, okay? All right? Israel is not just only, okay, in the Western Hemisphere where it's just North America and South America, okay? The Israelites are not just in America, just in the Caribbean, just in South America, There's Israelites in Europe, okay? There's Israelites in Asia, There's Israelites in India, There's Israelites, obviously, in Africa, West Africa, and even in East Africa, okay? All right? There's Israelites in the Middle East, okay? There's Israelites literally everywhere, okay? Scriptures talk about how we're the sand of the sea, okay? So we're a gigantic number, okay? All right? We're a gigantic nation, okay? All right? So being that we are everywhere, okay, amongst these heathens, because the curse was that we're scattered, okay, to the four corners of the earth, being around these other nations, okay, we basically slept with their women, okay, and doing that, okay, obviously the kid is going to look, okay, different from a typical look of an Israelite, okay? Like if a so-called Negro sleeps with a so-called Chinese woman, okay? All right? That kid, okay, is going to have some features that look, Asian, okay? And if that kid, all right, sleeps with a Chinese woman, so-called Chinese woman, okay, that kid that comes out, okay, he's going to look even more like a heathen, okay? All right, and that kid sleeps with, and it just, all right, to the point where, literally, down the lineage, okay, those kids literally look exactly like the other nations, okay, but because of the seed line, okay, because he can trace that person's lineage goes back to an Israelite, okay, that person's Israelite, okay. All right? It's just literally that simple, okay? We're scattered everywhere, okay? And we didn't just deal with our own women, we deal with the women of the other nations. And doing that, okay, our offspring looks a little bit like the other nations. And as time went on and on, eventually we started looking exactly like the other nations, okay? All right. But but those Israelites they're still Israelites. Okay. Okay. Because of their seed line. Okay. It's not about how you look. Okay. You gotta understand your nationality is actually your spirit. Okay. It's actually your spirit. Okay. All right. Being an Israelite. Okay. Is a specific spirit. Okay. It's the high tier spirit. Okay. The spirit that the Most High, you know, actually loves. Okay. The Most High doesn't care about these other nations. Okay. Now, obviously, indicators to know Israelite, basic ones, is, seeing, obviously, because we know in the scriptures that Israelites traditionally, okay, are a dark nation, okay, but not every single Israelite's dark. It's just that simple. And us being scattered, obviously, we're going to look very different, okay, all right? But that kid is still Israelite, okay, even though they look very different, okay? They're still Israelite. Doesn't matter how they look, okay? But your nationality is actually your spirit, okay? All right? If all of a sudden, let's say the Most High just, makes you, takes away your pigmentation, are you now an Edomite? So is it based off of your skin tone? No, it's not. It's based on your spirit, okay? And there's a lot of Israelites that have, there are Israelites, okay, that are trapped, what you would say, trapped in a white man's body, trapped in an Asian man's body, trapped in an Indian man's body, okay? So this is a very spiritual thing, okay? Your nationality is really your spirit, okay? Or you have a spirit of Israel. Do you have a spirit of a Moabite? Do you have a spirit of a Hamite? Do you have a spirit of a Japhite? Do you have a spirit of an Edomite? Because the spirit of an Edomite, okay, we know it's a vile, base creature, a wicked, evil person, And there's a lot of different characteristics that you can tell an Edomite, okay? One of them is grand pride, You know what I'm saying? These are different things, okay, that you can tell, okay, of that these different nations have. Basically, these are different things you can tell the spirit of a particular nation, okay? All right? So we know Edomites have a lot of pride, They, they usually like their meat not cooked, blood in it, And just the list goes more and more to describe a spirit, okay, of a Edomite, okay? Now, if a white man, okay, an Edomite man, okay, sleeps with a Israelite woman, okay, that kid, all right, is going to be an Edomite. Even though, they look so-called, what people would say, mixed race, light skin, whatever, Because it's about the seed line, okay? You are who your father is, okay? Well, let's get there right now. So you are who your father is, okay? It's not based off of how you look, okay? All right? So like I said before, okay, through the spirit, that kid, all right, that has a Edomite dad, okay? That kid's an Edomite. Now, that kid sleeps with a dark-skinned woman, okay? That kid that comes out, he's going to look darker. But guess what? Through the seed line, he's an Edomite. But you'll be looking at him and he looks like a so-called, Jake, a so-called black person. But he's not an Israelite, okay? He's an Edomite, okay? All right? And then that Edomite spirit, okay, that's inside of that body that looks like an Israelite, that looks like a black person, okay, that Edomite spirit is going to show forth, okay? You'll be able to tell that's an Edomite, okay? But you have to be spiritual, okay? You know what I'm saying? That spirit is going to, expose itself. And you're going to see, oh, okay, they may look like a so-called Israelite, but they're not, okay? The scripture talk about the wheats and the tares, You know what I'm saying? And that's just basically going into, there's some people that look like Israelites, but are not, okay? All right? They're actually a different nation, okay? Okay? But how can you tell? By their spirit, okay? Because that's your actual nationality, okay? All right? You have the spirit of Israelite, okay? The spirit inside of you is an Israelite, okay? You know, the spirit is inside of somebody's an Edomite. That means that's their nationality, okay? All right? It's Numbers 1:18. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, okay, from 12 years old to like 20 years old and upward by their polls. All right, so there you go. Okay, they classified their families by the house of their father. Okay, so whatever your father's spirit is, that's what you are. Okay, all right. If your father is a Israelite, then you're an Israelite. Despite if you look light skinned, despite if you look, white. Okay, doesn't matter. Okay. Now we're gonna get to this is 1 Peter 1:1. Peter, an apostle of Yahushua Mashiach, to strangers scattered. Who are those strangers? Those are Israelites. Okay. All right. Those Gentiles that are explained, okay, in the New Testament, those are not actual other heathens. Those are Israelites. Okay. Those are Israelites. All right. Scattered throughout Pontus, Galatia, Cappadocia, Asia, and Bithynia. Okay? So we're scattered everywhere. Okay? We're literally in every spot. Okay? Now, like I said before, the Gentiles those are Israelites. Okay? Okay, those are Israelites. Okay? Those are not the other nations, because we already know the other nations are going to slavery. Okay? The other nations are going to captivity. Okay? All right? There's a lot of scriptures in the prophecies in the Old Testament that have not came to pass yet. Okay? All right? A lot of them, okay? And there's a lot of them talking about the other nations, okay, going into slavery. Okay? All right? So that's bound to happen. Okay? It's not like all of a sudden, oh, well, we're going to disannul all those prophecies because of the New Testament. Well, what kind of bullshit is that? But that's what the Christian church says. They say, well, basically, since we're in a new covenant, everything in the Old Testament doesn't matter. That's just wickedness, okay? All right? So those scattered, okay, those strangers are Israelites, all right? Now, let's get into that a little bit. So first thing, let's get Romans 9. Romans 9, and then let's start at 3. For I could wish that myself were accursed from Mashiach with my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh, who are Israelites, okay? So this is Paul speaking, okay? Who are Paul's brethren? Who is Paul's kinsmen, okay? According to the flesh, okay? Those are Israelites, all right? Because the church likes to say the term spiritual Israelites, where you can be an Edomite you can be of another nation, but for some odd reason you're a spiritual Israelite. If your spirit is an Edomite, you can't change your Edomite spirit to Israelite spirit. You can't do that. Okay? So, that's just plain. So that spiritual Israelite, what the church tries to say is bullshit. Okay? All right? So according to the flesh, okay, who are Israelites. So Paul's brethren, according to the flesh, okay, according to actual lineage, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, okay? Those actual family line, that's what he's talking about, okay? All right? Now let's keep reading. To whom pertain the adoption and the glory and the covenants and the giving of the law and the service of Yahweh and the promises, okay? What's the adoption? Yahushua dying on the cross, okay, and buying back, okay, Israel, okay, according to the flesh, okay, according to that seed line. Now you gotta understand the seed line, okay, the seed line, that seed line to the Father, okay, even though that Father, okay, through the seed line, dealt with a heathen woman, okay, and that kid dealt with another heathen woman, and that kid dealt with another heathen woman, that seed line, okay, is still an Israelite. That seed line goes all the way back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right? So you can look like a white man, a so-called white man, okay, and be an Israelite. All right? So for you people that may look, okay, for you people that may not look like a so-called black person or a so-called so-called Hispanic person, if you hear this truth right here and you understand it, okay, and it resonates with you, okay, then you're an Israelite, okay, all right, and you need to repent, and you need to follow the law, statutes, and commands to the best of your ability, have faith, and you gotta do the work, and you gotta you basically got to come back into your correct mind, because all this time you thought you were Asian, all this time you actually thought you're Indian, all this time you thought you're a white man, but you're not. You're Israelite, you know. So for you people that hear this truth, okay, that comes out through GMS, okay, all right, if you hear this and you believe in it, then boom, right there, you gotta fellowship. You gotta get in this tune spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You gotta clean yourself up, man. Have faith. You need to follow laws to the law, statute, commandments to your best of your ability. You know what I'm saying? You gotta do the work. You gotta preach in the name of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You have to get back to your culture. You have to come back to your culture. Okay. All right. Because in this time, man, the great multitude must come. Okay. The great multitude is going to come because things are getting worse and worse. And scriptures talk about how, basically, man, the Israelite foreigners, the ones that are, they don't look like typical Israelites, they have to come, Okay, adoption and the glory, what's the glory? The kingdom of heaven and the covenants, okay? The first covenant, the old covenant, okay? And the second covenant, which is the new covenant, okay? Israelites by the flesh, okay, according to the seed line, okay, are the ones that are pertaineth to the new covenant, okay? Not some other nation, okay? Not some other nation, all right? And the giving of the law in the service of Yahweh and the promises. And boom, right there you go, okay? So it's not any, other nation that's a Gentile, okay? It's only Israelites that are Gentiles. Let's get one more scripture to elaborate a little bit. This is 1 Corinthians 12:2. Ye know that ye were Gentiles carried away unto these dumb idols, even as ye were led. So how can you have been a Gentile and then you change to Israelite? You can't, like I already said through the Spirit, you can't change your nation, You may look like another nation, but your seed line, okay, your spirit, really, you could say your spirit line, but it's really obviously seed line, okay? Your seed line, okay? Because whoever you are, who you are, your father, okay? Based on your seed line, you're going to have an Israelite spirit, okay? All right? And you may look like another nation, but you're an Israelite. So these Gentiles right here are Israelites, okay? All right? But the way it's written like this, okay, because of the fact that Israelites that turn away from their culture, that turn away from their heritage, okay? They're called Gentiles, all right? The scriptures talk about how they're likened unto heathens, okay? Because they are not doing their culture, you know? You know? And who's the ones that are carried away to dumb idols? You know, it was Israelites. The Israelites are the ones that are always doing wicked idol worship, you know? Okay? The Gentiles, all right, are just Israelites, okay, that don't do, you know, they're not doing their culture, you know? Okay? This is Romans 2:28. For he is not a Jew, which is one outwardly, okay? So just because, okay, your hair may be straight, okay, just because your eyes, you know, maybe a different color, whatever, your eyes may look like a so-called Chinese man, okay? Which the Chinese is the Moabites. Just because you look different outwardly, okay, you have an Israelite spirit, okay? Neither is that circumcision, which is outward in the flesh, but he's a Jew, which is one inwardly, and circumcision is that of the heart in the spirit, and not in the latter, whose praise is not of men, but of Yahweh. And there you go, okay? All right. There's some Israelites, okay, Israelites that look like what you'll call other nations, you know, that are out here actually praising Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, okay, and not praising men, you know, actually being righteous, you know, prophesying in the name of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai according to the correct doctrine. So how are you going to turn away that man? He's actually prophesying, okay? There's Israelite foreigners that are straight up prophesying, okay, and doing the work, okay, and outshining lots of you Israelites that look like typical Israelites, you know? Basically, there's so-called, you know, people that may look white, you know, that are outshining you so-called people that look black, you know? It's about your spirit, okay? And we know that so-called white person is actually not white, they're Israelite, okay? Spirit has me stressing that, man. So, yeah, that's the case, okay? So it's not about outward appearance, even though we know that's a good indicator, you know? We know, you know, based off of, through the Spirit, okay? We know through the Spirit that most, you know, basically the bulk of the tribes, okay, of, you know, we know that the Negroes, okay, is the Judites, okay? The so-called Negroes is the Judites. We know so-called West Indians, okay, is the Benjamites, the so-called Haitians, okay, or the Levites, the so-called Puerto Ricans, okay, or the Ephraimites. We know that, okay, through the Spirit, okay, and through the breakdown Genesis, okay, when Jacob is actually telling his sons, you know, where they're going to be in the latter end. But, you know, that doesn't mean that every single Judite lives in America or is a what you would call so-called Negro. There's Judites in Asia, you know, there's Judites in Europe, you know, there's Ephraimites and we're spread across everywhere. That's the thing you understand, okay? You know? Okay? Okay, and let's get now there's actual prophecy, okay, about Ephraim, okay? This is Hosea 7 and 8. Ephraim, he have mixed himself among the people. Ephraim is a cake not turned. Ephraim Let me read that again. Okay. This is Hosea 7 and 8. Ephraim, he have mixed himself among the people. Ephraim is a cake not turned. So Ephraim, okay, Ephraim looks, he makes himself with the other people, okay? So the Ephraimites, okay, they're not going to look like all the time like a dark-skinned person, a dark-skinned, woolly-haired Israelite, okay? He makes himself among the people. What's so hard to get about that, And lots of you other guys, man, you're just not spiritual. You don't understand that, okay? You guys are just not spiritual. You're the camps. You want all the tribes to be black, You're into that black thing. No, we're all black. We're all black. Man, we're all Israelites, you idiot. It's Romans 8:16. The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of Yahweh, okay? So us knowing that we're Israelites, okay, we, an Israelite foreigner, their spirit, okay, all right, even though they may look different, okay, but they're an Israelite, okay, just because of their mixing, but their seed goes back to Israel, okay, their physical seed goes back to Israel, their flesh, physical seed goes back to Israel, okay, to their fathers, okay, them having a spirit of an Israelite, okay, bears witness of our spirit. So that's how we know, okay, that they're Israelite, okay? All right? No Edomite, okay? No one with an Edomite spirit, which is an actual Edomite, okay? So I already said their spirit, you are, your nationality is really your spirit, No actual Edomite is going to be able to do this truth. No actual Moabite will be able to do this truth. Okay? An Edomite can't pick up the Bible, all right, and go on the highways and byways and preach, in season, out of season. They can't do that. They're wicked. Their spirit is adverse to the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. You know what I'm saying? So our spirit bears witness with their spirit. But hey man, these other guys are not spiritual. That's what it comes down to. You gotta be spiritual, man. Scriptures say how Yahweh is a spirit, okay? And those who worship him must worship him, okay? Through spirit and truth. So if you're not spiritual, man, you can't get it, man. It's just that plain, okay? It's Habakkuk 1:5. Behold, ye among the heathen, in regard and wonder marvelously, for I will work a work in your days which ye will not believe, though it be told to you. Okay, so what is that work? That work is bringing in the Gentiles. Okay, those Israelites that have been acting, okay, like heathens. They've been taking on the customs of the Greeks, taking on the customs of the Romans. Basically acting like a nigger, really. That also, may not look like a typical Israelite. They're acting like a Greek. That work, okay, that'll be worked in those days is those Israelites are acting like heathens being brought back to the Most High, okay, which will not believe though it be told to you, okay. So that's what that's what that's what apostles, man, in the scriptures, we're trying to tell these people, but lots of them are like, what? It was a mystery to them, it was a mystery. They didn't understand, okay? And there's nothing new in the sun, the scriptures say, so we're doing it right now, again, and they're still not getting it, Hey, so the Most High said, for I will work a work in your days, which ye will not believe, though it be told to you, okay? All right? So that work is, okay, the Most High bringing in those Israelite foreigners, okay? Those Israelites acting, okay, like Greeks, okay, all right? They're Hellenized, okay, you know? And then, hey, that's the case, man. That's the case. And like I already said, through the spirit, if you're not spiritual, you can't understand. It's the only way to worship Yahweh Shem Yahushua, you gotta be spiritual. Plain. You can't be carnal worshiping him. You have to worship him through the spirit. Only. I mean, you can't be carnal, okay? Jeremiah 12:9. My inheritance, so my heritage is unto me as a speckled bird. The birds round about are against her. Come ye, assemble all the beasts of the field, come to devour. So I got this for the beginning of the verse, man. My heritage is unto me as a speckled bird. So Israel looks different. Not all Israel is dark-skinned with a nappy afro. Okay? All right? All right, so last scripture. This is Revelations 7:9. After this, I beheld, and lo, a great multitude, which no man could number, of all nations and kindreds and people and tongues, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands. That's beautiful, man. This is the ones who make it. And these are the ones who made it, okay? It said all nations and kindreds and people and tongues, okay? You know? So an Israelite does not have to be, an Israelite is not just someone, okay, with the English tongue, you know? It's not just someone with the Spanish tongue, you know? You know what I'm saying? It's not just someone that looks, okay, like a Hispanic. It says all nations, so they look like the other nations. Now we know, okay, through the scriptures, they're not actually heathens, okay? Because a heathen spirit, an actual heathen, okay, an actual Moabite, okay, can't worship the Most High. It just, their spirit can't do that. It's just literally how they're designed. You gotta understand that, okay? The Elamite, which is the so-called East Indians, the Elamite spirit, that spirit is not designed to mesh with Yahweh Shem Yahushua, to actually understand and do the will of the Lord. It's just how they're designed, okay? Okay, so if you see someone, okay, like I already said through the spirit, man, if you look, okay, if you don't look like a black, Hispanic, and Native American, but you hear this truth, okay, and you resonate with it, then boom, right there, you're an Israelite, okay? All right, and you need to do the things that, we must do. You know what I'm saying? Okay? All nations and kindreds and people and tongues. So we're gonna look very different, man. We look very different. Okay? Speaking Mandarin, speaking French, speaking there's a whole, man, the Israelites are scattered everywhere, okay? And us dealing with the heathen women, okay, our kids look different. But based on the seed line, going all the way back, we are Israelites, plain, okay? So you Israelite foreigners need to come back, man. You Israelite foreigners need to put on the righteous garments, and come back to your actual heritage, okay? Not being a Chinese man, not being a white man, not being an Indian, not being a Arab, okay? The Spirit bears witness of our spirit that they're Israel, that they're children of the Most High, okay? So I hope this lesson was edifying. Shalom.